Episode number 19, back to Canada. That was a trip that I will never forget. It was amazing. I had the chance to do a lot of picture and a lot of footage. I hope you had the chance to view some of it. I find out that I had a lot of learning still to do in Premiere Pro. Doing all that editing, I learned quite a bit, and that will be part of my second season. This season, season number 1, will end shortly. We'll have this episode and 3 more episodes that will be interviews. And that's more about interviews, how I did it, why I did it, and some information. And each interview, you'll have some information at the beginning to why and how I did it. After that, we're coming back on September 5th for season number 2. We'll start with the equipment because I will tell you what equipment that they should have bring instead of what I bring, because I had some equipment that I didn't need and that took some room for nothing. I will do a review of the M50. I will do some tests with it and I'll tell you what I think about it. But if it's good, it will replace, and when I travel, that will replace the 5D Mark III. The size is, huge difference. And I find out during the trip that using a crop sensor with fish eyes give you less distortion. That's normal because you have a crop sensor and you have a factor of 1.6. And that's something that was harder when I used the 5D in Photoshop to reduce the distortion when using a fisheyes. Season 2, we'll start, like I said, we'll speak about the equipment to start with. What I find that I will need in the future if I want to do better footage, because when you do the editing of your footage, there's a lot of correction to do and it's time consuming. I learned a lot about Premiere Pro because I did a lot of editing on it and I'm learning more, and we'll have an episode on Premiere Pro. We had a small one to give you just the idea of how that works. I'll give you a little bit more tool because you have way around it that make it easier to use. We'll speak about Photoshop, how to do very fast editing with Photoshop. When you have, I had something like 10,000 pictures. I had to view them on Bridge, send them on the RAW, sometimes 30 at a time, process them all together, save them, and I'll show you how I did it. That way you save a lot of time. I will also have episode on selfie. I'm used to do creative selfie because I do conceptual photo for book cover. And a lot of the time I didn't have people or I didn't have a model to do it for me. I had to use myself. And I did many selfies, creative selfies, if you wish. And I'll tell you how I did some of it. And I'll show you how to do it yourself. It's getting easier and easier anyway. And if you want, I'll put the link of my selfie gallery on my website, and you can see the selfies that I did of myself during the years. We'll have a class on food photography because I find that food photography is very interesting. Beautiful, colorful, do it everywhere. It's amazing. I like that. We'll have one on landscape and HDR because the pros and cons of using filter or using HDR, depending on what you want to do and what you want to achieve. I do both, and depending what I have as equipment when something happens. It's always something you have to think about. After that, we'll speak about architecture photography, portrait photography, and we'll speak about different aspects of photography. Conceptual photography, because this is one of my favorite things. Storyteller photography, writing article. When I have a better idea of what episode will be first. I will try to give you a programmation of the episode that we'll have, at least an idea of. We'll start with the equipment, but what will be next? Probably the selfies or the food, I don't know. We'll see. That's in September 5th. Till then, keep shooting, and I hope you will enjoy the footage of Fatima. Like I said, I changed the color theme because I wanted to know more about that, and that's why we will have an episode on Premiere Pro. It's a fantastic software. I really enjoy using it. It's a lot of learning to do, but it's not as bad as you may think. And if you have any question about it, just let me know. And keep shooting. Don't forget to subscribe. And next week will be the interview. The first interview will be with the owner of Purple Dog, the best place I ever stayed in my life, and I stayed in a lot of different places. And that will be next episode 20. Thank you. Ciao.